welcome to PCG TV, and the program is called to serve. And you know, in PCTV, we say, in the light, there is light. Call to serve is the program that gives us the opportunity to interact with our ministers and to experience, what they have gone through. And for those of us who have questions about the call of God, how do you know God has called you? This is the practical session when you hear from the horse's own mouth and how they were called and how ministry have been. And this week, we have a wonderful minister, an experienced minister of God in our midst, Reverend Frederica Akweley Abladey from the Gethsemane congregation in Achimota. We will go on to a quick break, and when we come, we will bring your way this experienced minister from Achimota. God bless you. You are welcome back to PCG TV, called to serve. And I want to introduce our guest for this week for you, Reverend Frederica Akweley Abladey from the Gethsemane congregation in Achimota. Mama, you are welcome.
Thank you, Papa.
You are welcome. So this is called to serve. Members want to hear all about ministry. So could you briefly introduce yourself to our viewers, who you are, a little about family, and then we zoom into the call.
Thank you so much. I've been known all around the world as Osofo Frederica Akweley Abladey Ourayire or Oulanga. In fact, when you call me a rock, now the Miyako Slopa.
Okay.
Papa, this is Osofo Rebecca.
Wow. This is Osofo Rebecca, and I am your host, Reverend Dr. Felix Cornelio Sajay. So, Mama, could you share a bit about yourself? Who is Mama Rebecca, family and childhood upbringing, and how you ended up into the Presbyterian Church of Ghana?
Thank you. I am from Osu. I hail from Osu Kinkanwe, from the Dawona clan, and my childhood and upbringing has been from Osu. I churched and baptized at Osu Ebenezer congregation, and grew in the ministry from Sunday school. From the scratch. By the grace of God, I've been working among the church. And one thing that amazed me was that if the Lord calls you, that means He has foreseen something already in you before He calls. I was born a twin. And so as I was growing up, I was celebrating the Twin Festival with my parents and the rest. But my heart is with the Presbyterian Church. My mother was an Anglican from the St. Barnabas Anglican Church Osu. She takes us to church and we go to Presby and Anglican. Often when I see the children in the Anglican church following the fathers or the bishops at the monthly celebrations in the evening, that attracts me. So I've been telling my mother, I want to be like them.
Wow.
I want to be one of the young girls serving, following the bishops. They carry a little basket with some little papers, and then I don't understand, but that was where I got the glimpse of working in the church, serving in the church.
So Mama had the conviction of working into the ministry right from her infancy in the Anglican church.
Sure.
Okay.
Though I go to Presbyterian church, but
how were you switching? How come you were going to both Anglican and the Presbyterian?
Thank you. My mother was an Anglican, as I said.
Okay.
And she goes to mass in the evenings and the occasions when they are celebrating. And we don't have anything doing in the Presby church. Apart from the Sunday morning, the Sunday afternoon, where we have the Sunday school, the children.
So your dad was a Presbyterian?
My dad was then not in the church.
Okay, so how were you a Presbyterian?
There was a woman in our house who was a children's service teacher. So she made sure no child will remain in the house. So she has been carrying us to church every Sunday. And my father and mother allowed it. So I was following just like that. But when it comes to Sunday evening ceremonies, I have to follow my mom to church. And then I like the Anglican hymns and the ceremonies, the little rituals they do. I see young girls like mass service, and I realize that children are also allowed in the house of God. That was
Children
the main
are also
motivation.
allowed in the house of the God.
Yeah.
Mama was following, a tenant in a house,
Yeah.
and that has ended up in the Presbyterian Church of Ghana and becoming a minister of the church, even though her mom was an Anglican. This tells about the corporate responsibility of all of us in the call to ministry. And so, if we have the opportunity to invite people to church, who knows, you may be bringing up the next moderator, the next clerk, the next Presbyterian minister. And we bless that woman so much for
Amen.
inviting Mama into
Amen.
the Presbyterian. So,
Amen.
how then do you switch from your mother's church and then become a full member of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana?
Thank you. In fact, I was baptized in the Presbyterian church because my mother didn't take full control. She said, because we have been going to the Presby church, and she knew that my father had the heart of Presby already, though he didn't go to church, but he will make sure we all go to church. Christmas and the rest. So until I think I was in class 6, when I said to my parents that I want to be baptized, I don't want the twin rituals anymore. I want to be baptized. So we were lined up to the Presby church. It was in the evening with the Reverend Rita. Yes. Also for Rita. And he baptized us. A lot of us, in fact, a lot of us. And the Dawona family, because we've been going to the Sunday school, the children's service, so we're many, very, very many. You know, in our house, in the family, not many Christians.
Okay.
We are from the chieftaincy home. Yes, I mean, my father became a chief.
Okay.
So the royal family and some of the things we do, at times, doesn't seem Jesus is there,
Okay.
but Jesus in the family. Jesus was right there grabbing us.
Jesus was right there
there.
grabbing them.
Yes.
And Jesus used a children's service teacher
Yes.
who lived with Mama to train her, even though her mom did not take a full control of their church. And God bless all the people who are reaching out to people and telling people, let's go to church. Your invitation alone could transform somebody's life. And that is how come Mama realized that she is interested in the ministry of the Lord. Okay, so somebody had led you into the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. You got convinced and convicted, and you were baptized into the church.
Yeah.
How did this progress into the call into ministry?
Thank you very much. I have not taken that thing for granted, because as I was growing, I realized I can also follow the trend of being a children's service teacher. So I became a children's service teacher.
Wow.
And from the early stage, I've been assisting. You see, I started with assistants. Before they will come, I'll be sweeping the place, I'll arrange the table and everything. So growing up, finishing elementary school, I found myself in Carnation staying with another auntie. And after elementary school, instead of going to adult service, I chose to be with the children. So I was a children's service teacher in the Carnation Presby, and there I was confirmed also by Papa A.L. Kwanzaa. And so growing up, I realized that stretching the hand for a child can do something. If I cannot reach out to the adults, the children are mine.
Stretching your hand to the child can do something, even though you cannot do much. And this is how Mama's story of call into the ministry began. The call to serve, an inner desire to serve. Watch out as we go on for a short break. And after the short break, we'll bring the culmination and the full story of how Mama's simple desire to serve led him into the ordained ministry of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. Welcome back to PCG TV. This is the program called to serve, the interaction moments we have with our ministers to learn about the call to ministry and how to maneuver your way through the ministry, especially of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. And we are here with Mama Akweley from Gethsemane Congregation in Achimota. Mama, you began to tell us about your desire to ministry. At what point did you really confirm that the Lord is calling you into the ordained ministry, even though you began as a children's service teacher?
Thank you very much. I grew up to meet YAFCA,
Okay.
that's the Youth Ambassadors for Christ Association. That is Reverend Dr. Also and some blessed memory. And so I joined the Yes Camp, that is Yes Camp. We meet at Presec. So then I was trained also as youth evangelist. So growing through the ministry, I realized that the ministry is ongoing ministry. I can't stop. So with the youth evangelism, I continued and I joined the Bible study and prayer group. I was a chorister, a youth member, and the vibrant, I see the fire brand in me that, in fact, I can't stop. So I continued and I trained again as child evangelist.
Wow.
So I continued the child evangelism, youth evangelist, and it's like I see myself moving everywhere I go.
Wow.
Either a child or youth, I have a mission for you. And that continued wherever we say, that's the way I see myself. The ministry continues. I get admission to a teaching profession, not a trained teacher, a popo teacher.
Yeah.
I worked for 18 years, and by the grace of God, children that passed through my hand, I used the strategy, the child evangelism, the youth evangelist to raise them. And so I have doctors and so many in the legal field, so many that I raised. Just quite recently, I met someone who's a senior nursing officer. She hugged me, Mama, you taught me industry too.
Wow.
And in fact, I realized that ministry, through every angle, shouldn't be stopped.
Ministry through every angle should not be stopped.
Sure.
Mama started as a children's service teacher. The desire was so strong, so he began going trainings upon trainings that will build her capacity to involve even youth. And even in her teaching profession, the ministry continued. So you have been involved in children's service and youth ministry at this stage for a long time.
Yeah.
At what point then did you say, I need to enter into either RTC or TTS?
Thank you so much. In the 1990s, I had a desire to go into catechist training. And in fact, somebody discouraged me because catechists cannot be recognized, catechists cannot be paid well, and the rest, and with the teaching profession. But the fire in me cannot listen to that. So I continued and I had admission to RTC. So I was trained as a catechist, consecrated in 1995.
1995?
Yes, please.
Wow.
And so with the catechist, the fire is so burning.
Okay.
And I continued. I realized that I can write the Trinity Theological Examination also. So I wrote the first one, I think 1996. It doesn't click, it's passed no way.
Okay.
And so 1997, by the grace of God, I did it again. And I was admitted to Trinity Theological Seminary.
Wow.
And now I'm still in ministry by the grace of God.
So there is one thing we learn from Mama. There is a kind of fire you experience when you are called into the ministry. That fire may not necessarily lead you automatically into the ministry on the onset, but it starts somewhere.
Exactly.
And if you have listened and watched Mama's story very well, it began when she has entered into the Anglican Church. She saw little children, part of the servants, and he caught the fire there. She grew up becoming children's service teacher, a youth leader, evangelist, and then that fire led her to become a catechist. People began to discourage her when she wanted to enter, into the ministry in terms of the catechist. But one thing we learned, that the fire in her would not allow her to listen. People of God, do you have the call of God? What voices do you hear? Let the fire in you do the voice, and the Lord will lead you. So at this stage, Mama has become an ordained minister because he has gone through Trinity Theological Seminary. Can you share a little bit about your first station, the ups and the downs?
Okay, thank you. My first station was the Carnation Privy Church, and I worked under the late Ajem Frimpong.
Okay.
He was transferred to Asante, Bantama, and Papa Ike Isaac Kweku Fuku also took over. And in fact, these two gallant men of God laid a proper foundation for me. They gave me the free hand to work. And they always tell me, Rebecca, go ahead, work. If there is any mistake, we'll help you correct it.
Okay.
And in fact, ministry at Carnation was another exposure that landed me higher and higher and higher, because at Carnation, different people are there. You can get a guru, the lawyers, I mean the caliber of people at Carnation, and you can meet the middle people, the class, and then the very down one. So Carnation is like a cosmopolitan community. And by the grace of God, with humility, let me use that key, humility. Because you can't go through this system without humility. With humility, I know that made the Lord also held my hand through different people, and I got it. And Carnation shaped me also. From children's service teacher there, confirmed there, now becoming a minister there. You can see that if you were then a child, growing to meet the people who were matured before, and now you are coming there as a minister.
You were transferred into the church you were children's service.
Exactly.
Wow. That
they never
ordinarily
knew.
do not happen.
They never knew.
Wow.
It's just God's divine favor.
Wow.
And so I remembered that once I was children's service teacher, and the secret is that actually I was a house help.
Okay.
When I was in Carnation, the auntie I stayed with, I was staying there as a house help. And so she confirmed, she's a Catholic.
Okay.
And she confirmed me into the Presbyterian church.
Okay.
And so I remember where I was.
Okay.
And how the Lord is carrying me, so that I will not puff up.
Okay.
But rather with that humility, I'll be able to help other people come up, even be above my status.
No.
And that's my plan.
With humility, you can do a lot. Mama is sharing how the fire she caught from infancy led her to become the minister, and then even to become ordained minister.
Yeah.
You have shared about the fire and now your first station.
Yes.
Many people says we hear the voice of God. Apart from the inner desire, what other things do you think contributed to your response to this call?
Thank you, Papa. There are a lot, but to bring out some few is human relationship. Because you have the inner call. You need somebody to hold your hand.
Okay.
Like Samuel and Eli. There should be a matured person who can lead you out of your conviction within you, because the inner conviction cannot speak out so clearly unless you are able to talk to somebody. And then looking at you, your ways of life, then somebody can say, okay, go through this, go there. And so that direction also, I had it from the people I encountered as a fellowship and relationship.
The inner conviction is important, but you will need elderly people who have been in ministry, who will ascertain your inner conviction and lead you to become the minister you want to be. This is PCG TV, and the program is called to serve. We will go on a quick break, and when we come back, we will share about Mama's ministerial exploits and some of the transfers she has been to and the impact of her ministry. Welcome to PCG TV, and this is called to serve. We are with Reverend Akweley from the Gethsemane congregation in Achimota. Mama is sharing with us some ministerial insights that you and I will be interested in. So, Mama, you have shared about how senior ministers are involved in confirming your call, and even you've shared about your first station. What will you say has been a defining moment, because ministry is full of ups and downs? What are some of the down parts of ministry, and what are some of the ups that you may want to talk about in any of your stations? But before then, can you run us through some of the stations you have been so far?
Thank you so much. From Kaneshi, I was transferred to Tema Community 1, that is Greenwich, on the Meridian line. And then from there, I went to Co-on-Sea. From Co-on-Sea, I went to Trinity to do my further studies, that's the degree.
Okay.
So from there, I went to Bawe, Redemption, from in the Kadeshi district then. From Bawe, I came to Accra Newtown. From Accra Newtown, I went to Dakuma, Christ. From Dakuma, Christ, I went to Choco, Calvary Congregation. And from Choco, I am now in Achimota Gethsemane. But whilst I was in school, I was attached to North Kaneshi and then Trinity United Church. Yeah.
Good. So Mama has gone through several stations so far. What will you want to say about some of the down part of ministry, or some challenging moments and some of the joyous moments that you will want to share?
Thank you so much. In fact, per my own record, I've rated every station as good as the Lord has done it.
Okay.
The reason being that if I want to put on the lens of looking for the negativity, then I can get a lot.
Okay.
So in ministry, we're told that if you are going to one station, put down the former lens and then put on the lens that will suit the very station you are going. And so I always try to do that. And I try not to register seriously the negatives.
Okay.
So when you ask me, it will be difficult for me to say.
Okay. So Mama, ordinarily we want to focus on the positives, but we want to hear about some few challenges you have encountered in ministry for our learning, if any.
Thank you. Let me go back a little round about what I'm saying, because we were at General Assembly, I think Cape Coast, and I was told, Rebecca, you'll be given a transfer. I said, yes, Papa. And that was the late Kisi Eduayi, who was then the clerk of the Ga Presbytery. I said, yes, Papa. Where you are going, there is no water. I said, yes, Papa. No light. I said, yes, Papa. Then he was looking at me. But you, I said, no water, no light, and you are saying, yes, Papa. I said, yes, Papa. Then he said, but what, won't you ask me any question? I said, Papa, as far as there are people there, I don't think the light and the water can be a problem. So whatever they are going through, we will go through together and see a way out.
Wow.
And so that was one station. I spent just 1 year.
There was no lights.
That's what he said.
Water.
That's because coming from Kaneshi, going to Tema, then you can see that maybe Accra girl. Maybe, well, that is what maybe you will think I would expect much. But that was a fishing community. And that was one station I was so happy. Ministry was very good there. I spent 1 year.
Wow. Ministry was very good.
Very good.
Even though on the face value, it looked as if it was a difficult station. And this is one thing you will always learn in ministry. For those of you who have been following Call to Serve for some time now, ministers always share about transfers that seem so difficult, but at one point or the other, those stations turn out to become the most, joyous
Blessed
moment
ones.
and the blessed one for our ministry. Mama, what are some of your impacts so far that you will want to share as a minister?
Thank you so much. I call it Touch a Life.
Touch a life.
Touch a Life.
Wow.
Touch a Life because looking at my background, if somebody touched my life and I am who I am today, then I need to extend that hand to anybody I'll meet. Every station I go, the Lord bless me with people who are, excuse me to say, they are vulnerable.
Okay.
Either a sick person or somebody who is not so much endowed, either an adult or a child. And with me, a little moment, there is a transformation.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I have a catechist. So people who pass through my hands, most are catechists now, some are sophos, and I feel it's a blessing on my life that the Lord has given that grace to enrich other people's lives. I met a guy who was physically challenged, and I brought her to the church. By then I wasn't a minister. Where do you stay? And he told me. I followed him. I brought him back to the church, and I made him got a work, a teaching, who is also not a trained teacher. We were working together, and he was advancing, making courses and the rest. By the grace of God, he's a catechist now at one of the biggest congregations in the church, in the Gam Presbytery. He's a prayerful person.
Wow.
He's married with 2 kids. But I'm bringing this in because I see myself touching a life from wherever state the person is coming from. No break, no barrier.
Wow.
And that is how the Lord has been able, both male and female. Any vulnerable person I come across, and I go down my knees. God, what should I do? He teaches me. And that makes me see ministry better and better every day.
From a little girl who caught the fire of serving, the Lord had continued to use Mama to serve many. And now the Lord is using her to touch especially the vulnerable ones, transforming people who had no hope to become catechists, to become Bible readers and preachers. This is the story of Mama. This is very interesting. So, what will you want to tell ministers, young people, about the call of God, and how will you want to encourage your colleague ministers?
Thank you, Papa. I want to add that the ministry is not limited. I started with children, and I'm doing the ministry to the aged as well. I have someone 97 years, February, she'll be 97 years. And she's so close to me. I'm also close to her. And I see the way God is moving through the ministry. We don't have to center our focus on the active people. And so I move every angle. And this woman is a mother to me.
Wow.
And I'm a daughter to her. So for me, every life that needs hope should be made.
Every life that needs hope should remain. What would be your final words and greetings that you will want to share?
Thank you, Papa. My final word to everybody is call to serve is a missionary agenda of God. And the service is not limited to a refined place, but maybe you have to be pushed to a place that you don't even think of. But when you avail yourself to the Lord who has called you, He will equip you and establish you and make you work for His glory alone. And in fact, working for God, with God, makes me glad. Because every time I feel I want to hear God's voice directing me to where to work. When I sit idle and I have nothing to do, not even praying for somebody, the whole day will become gloomy. But the moment I get a call to pray for somebody, I see it as a service, and that gives me a lot of strength. And so Call to serve
Wow.
is service all the way.
Call to serve is service all the way.
Exactly.
Working for God and working with God gives Mama all the joy. And this has been your most interesting program, Call to Serve, on PCG TV, where our ministers get to share with us their experience and what they are going through and how they responded to the call into the ministry. Mama, do you have final greetings that you want to share in 30 seconds?
Thank you. I want to send a warm of greetings to the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, and my moderator, clerk, and everybody here, and then to all women ministers in the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, whom I'm helping as I'm also being helped to stand in the gap, intercessors, and in mission, continue to serve. And then to EMS, our fraternal workers over there, I'm the liaison woman to the PCG Women Ministry. And so as they are watching and listening, I send the Happy New Year message to them. And I pray God's blessings upon their lives and everybody, my family, and my children and grandchildren.
Wow.
I want to say, God bless you.
God bless you all. This has been your most interesting program, Called to Serve, an opportunity to listen from our ministers and to see how they responded to the call and how the Lord has used them over the years and how you and I can also participate in the ministry. God bless you for watching, and we will come your way next week, same time. And this is PCTV, Called to Serve, your most interesting Christian television in Ghana. In thy light, there is light. God bless you.
Stories come alive, voices are heard, and faith meets inspiration. This is PCG TV. From news to powerful sermons, from business spotlights to youth-driven conversations, we bring you content that informs and transforms. Do you need media coverage, live streaming, documentary and video production, or event coverage? PCG TV is your best stop. Call us today on 0257 353 533 and follow us on all social media platforms at PCG TV. PCG TV, in thy light, there is light.